Welcome back to the Abandoned Mansion. This episode is sponsored by DJI, and I want to say thank you so much, DJI, for sponsoring this, because I'm a huge fan. As you guys know, I have been using drones in my videos for years, and every single episode of the Abandoned Mansion that I have filmed, I have included footage from a DJI drone. Well before I was ever sponsored by DJI. This is the drone that I have normally been using. This is the DJI Mavic 2 Zoom. I love it because it's tiny, it folds up, easy to travel with. It is a great drone, great picture, easy to fly. But then they made something even better. Look how tiny and cute it is. It's the brand new Mavic Mini. It folds up to be pocket size, yet it's still packed with professional features like the bigger flagship models. And it weighs under 250 grams, which in a lot of places is the cutoff, so the rules and regulations are different and allows you to do a lot more things than you could with a heavier drone. And with the ultralight design and high-grade motors, the Mavic Mini has up to 30 minutes of flight time. A tinier drone with a smaller carrying case makes that so much more convenient to not only have with me, but to use when I'm making videos. The Mavic Mini normally retails for $399, but if you click the link in the description below and use my promo code, you'll get 5% off when you order the DJI Mavic Mini or the DJI Mavic Mini Fly More combo. Every drone shot you see in this episode today is going to be filmed with the DJI Mavic Mini. Welcome back to Renovation Ranch. Welcome to the Abandoned Mansion. Another day of work here at the Abandoned Mansion. And sometimes you need to take a step back and say, oh yeah, I'm not a professional home builder. And sometimes it might be a good idea to get someone who is professional to come here and check your work to make sure you're not doing anything wrong or making any expensive mistakes. Matt Reisinger.
Hey guys, what's happening?
How are you?
I'm doing good, Matt.
Good.
Thanks for having me out.
Yeah, thanks for coming out. And he also came bearing gifts. Can we first just talk about what this thing is?
Yeah, Matt. You know I love my nerdy building science. This is a dehumidifier. Most people have had one at some point in their life. So you'll hook this up to your duct system. It'll probably be hidden away in your attic or a closet somewhere. And you'll have a separate switch now for your temperature, for your AC, and it's for your humidity. And they call that a dehumidistat. We're gonna set that at like 45 or 50%. And anytime it gets above that, this will just kick on, irregardless of whether your AC is running or not.
Perfect. Back to the house. What do you think?
Man, the house is looking really good. You know, I haven't been here in a while because of the craziness happening in the world.
Yep.
But since I've been here, you've reframed a bunch.
Yep.
You've also left some framing, which I appreciate. You didn't rip everything down. You kept, like, for instance, this roof in here.
All this is original.
Which is the original barrel vault. But, Matt, what you have done is where you put the new roof down, I like that you went ahead and used the Zip R sheathing for your roof decking.
Yeah, so what he's talking about, you can see it right through there, that sheathing system, the Zip R. We put it on the roof in this part. All the new stuff that we did it all in that Zip R.
Yeah, so that Zip R has insulation bonded to solid sheathing on the outside. And then that green facer, which is your water barrier. Also, Matt, the way you've done this, I call it Zip 1.5. You've done a really good airtight method as well, which a lot of the kind of standard staple-on house wraps, they're good at waterproofing, but they're not good at air sealing. And that's what you've done here is really good air sealing, including, can we walk outside and
do it.
Detail? This is a really fun detail over here, Matt, that you've done, and you did it perfectly. I came up here thinking I was going to show you how to do this. I even brought some tools for you. You didn't need it. So where your foundation meets your framing, you've done this really good job of liquid flash right here. So you did my detail where you've got, actually it's not my detail, Steve Basic originally thought of this. Some treated wood right here, the zip comes down on top of that, and then the whole thing from the concrete all the way up to the zip has been sealed with this liquid flashing product from Huber. So we're airtight, we're watertight, and you know what else we are? Bug tight.
Yeah, so that's one I didn't really think about. I knew like we were doing this to keep air and water from passing through there, but bugs, that does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I don't know about Meredith, but my wife does not like cockroaches.
Yeah, mine's not a fan either.
And bugs in general.
Scorpions.
Scorpions. This is a place where they come into a lot of houses across America.
That makes a lot of sense.
So by sealing that tight, that means we're not going to have that.
In your opinion, this house is still looking okay. No huge mistakes have been made. We're going to be all right.
Not at all, Matt. You've done a really, really good job.
You guys go check out Matt on The Build Show. I will link him in the description below.
Matt. Appreciate that. Last time you did that, Matt, I gained 150,000 subscribers.
Let's make it 160,000. Come on, guys. As you guys know, we have an underground bunker, and we need to fill up the sides and kind of underneath it with concrete. The problem is you fill it all up, it could float the box. It's a big empty metal box, and it's 18,000 pounds, but if you dump things all around it, like water or concrete, it could float. So we're gonna fill it up just like part way, and then let that harden, and then later we'll come back and fill up the rest, because that bottom part will be hard, anchoring it down, ideally. That is it. It is poured. You can see it's all still totally wet. It was just poured seconds ago, and it's probably about 18 inches deep. And what that will do is not only adhere to the side of this, because there's those C channels on the bottom down there, locking it in, it'll also adhere to around the edges and all this rebar that is going down into the other dry concrete. So later, when we come back, we can fill it up the rest of the way without worrying about it floating away, which would be very bad. Like, that sounds like it's not possible to float an 18,000 pound box, but it's a hollow box and it probably would float. So we didn't want to take any chances, so we have filled it partially just to lock it in. And we're gonna let that completely cure before we go up any higher with any more concrete. You can see we started making the porch up there, the roof going out over the porch. But then we ran into a little issue. Well, we realized an issue. The roof is only gonna be about that wide, but the porch underneath it from the original house is way wider, and we decided that would look kind of weird. The problem is you can't just cut off the ends here. You can't just like pull that end off and pull that end off, because there's not beams in there. The beams are at the very end. So if you cut it in the middle, there's no beams there, it's not strong. So we have to cut that whole porch off to redo it and make it normal size. And we're not just doing it because it looks weird, we also have to extend it out further because we want this to come out further. So to make it look good, we just have to take the whole porch out and then form up a new porch and everything that's the right size. So this guy is scoring the concrete. He has a concrete saw. He's going along, cutting it all away from the house, and then we're gonna bring a big breaker machine in to bust it all up. And so we're cutting it so it has a nice clean line so we don't get into the foundation, anything bad like that. It's a big pain in the butt for like a little small fix, but it's at the very front of the house, and we felt like it would look super weird if we didn't fix it. So we're fixing it. I'm upstairs now, and you may remember that upstairs all the windows were broken, which means that rain came in them for 15 years. And so all of the wood that was underneath the broken windows, which was all of them, was all rotten, just under the area next to the walls by the windows. And we replaced all that wood. I showed you that we left the wood in the center. We left probably 85% of the wood and just fixed the stuff right under the windows. We took out the old rotten stuff, put in brand new decking. The rest of the wood, however, looked kind of like this. You can see that it's weathered, it's bumpy, and it's still strong. It's not rotten, it's solid. It's just had water on it enough to kind of make it weathered and probably not as strong, as good as it was before. Here's a good example where it's kind of coming up a little bit, but still strong floor. So what we did is we got a sander in here. We sanded all the edges to make it nice and smooth, and then we put leveling compound, that stuff over there, wherever we needed to get it a little more level. And then we put new decking down on the entire top floor. So this floor is now 2 layers thick, which means it's super strong. We could have pulled all this wood out. We could have pulled all of this stuff out and put just a new layer of decking down, but this stuff is still strong. It just wasn't perfect. And so we decided, why not just make it twice as strong. Plus, the upstairs is where the kids are gonna be. And I don't know if you guys have kids, but my kids are very loud. And upstairs now, when they run or jump off their bunk beds, it sounds like an earthquake in my house. And so I thought, one more layer to keep the kids from coming through the ceiling might be good. So this has the brand new Advantech decking all over the entire top floor here. This is what I'm talking about here. There's the original layer right there, and we have a brand new layer on the entire top. It has filler compound, so it fits really nice and tight. It's not gonna squeak. And then we went along and screwed it all down everywhere. There won't be any gaps. You won't feel it coming up or any like divots or anything. It's all leveled and flat and then screwed down everywhere. So we're gonna have a super, super solid floor. And we went ahead and did that up here as well on the little upper level for the one extra bedroom that's at upper level. You can see we have a really thick, super solid floor. Yeah, try to come through that, little 40-pound kids. What's up now? And I know that that's overkill. I know we did not need to do that. We could have just sanded it all smooth, put some filler on there, and then put our hardwood floors on top. But we want to live in this house. We want this house to be perfect. We want to not have to worry about it. This is our house. So we wanted to go 110%. Speaking of our house, I'm in the living room upstairs. So upstairs, we have 3 kids and we made 3 bedrooms upstairs. Bedroom A, bedroom B, bedroom C. This area is going to be a little hangout room, a TV room, a toy room. This is where their friends come over and we're like, y'all go watch your movie upstairs so we don't have to listen to you. And so this is where the kid area will be. The problem is there's a bathroom for every bedroom, but there's no access in the general area to a bathroom. So we're gonna sacrifice Lincoln's bathroom. This is a bathroom right here. Right now, the only access point we have is from Lincoln's bedroom into the bathroom. I was just thinking it would make a lot of sense if there was a doorway right here as well, so that you can get to Lincoln's bathroom from the living room. So the boys' bathroom will also be kind of the everyone's bathroom. He'll have to share. So there's gonna be a toilet there, shower there, I think a sink and vanity on this wall. So I think a doorway should go right here. That's what I'm gonna work on right now. Got this thing pretty opened up now. Gotta get a little bit more cleaned up and then I can start building. But you may be able to hear the big jackhammer just arrived. They're starting to break up the porch. That's gonna take a while. You know what also stinks is that porch had flagstone all over the top and we removed it all off with air chisels, like by hand, just tons of time. Because we didn't know we were gonna tear up the entire porch. That was all wasted time. Live and you learn. We're not 100% efficient yet. And on the 21st episode, the king of the demolition said, "Let there be a doorway." And there was a doorway. And the king looked at the doorway, and the doorway was good. Not great, but good. And the doorway divided the bathroom from the living room. That's kind of the whole point of the doorway. Done with the door. For those who are interested in reframing or framing up something, you should just try it. We first started in the very first house that Meredith and I bought. We had a little like 1,100 square foot house, and we wanted to open up a wall and put, what are they called? Pocket doors in it. So to do that, we had to like reframe the whole wall. and it was a little, we were a little nervous about it, a little nerve-wracking, but it's fairly simple if you do some research and kind of think it through. What I did here, I knocked out some regular studs. That's a regular stud there. I knocked out those studs and I put in, basically this is still a regular stud, but it's called the king stud because it's gonna go around our door. The windows have that as well. That's a king stud right there. So these on the outside going all the way from our top plate all the way to our bottom plate, our sole plate down there. This one, bottom plate, all the way to the top. That is our king stud. This one, you'll see, this stud here is called a jack stud or a trim stud going on the side, and it only goes up to our header right there. So my header, that is a boxed header up there, so it's got a board on every side, all 4 sides. Boxed header, super strong. This boxed header puts all of its weight on those 2 jack studs, plus it's not really all of its weight because I have it tacked into the king stud as well. And then I have these little cripple studs up here, those 4 up there. That just helps distribute that top plate weight down. The whole reason you do all this, as you can imagine, if I took out all these boards, there's a lot of structural strength gone now because there's not a wall there. So what you do is you bring it down and you move that force over there. So now these are supporting not only right above it, it's also supporting all of that over there. Just a way to make it nice and strong. I'm not a pro. You guys will probably say, Matt, you didn't do such and such right. I think I got it pretty good though. It's square, it's all straight and square. We need to put a couple fire blocking in on both sides. And look at that warp, whoop, that board's warped. So a little blocking there to keep that thing straight. But this thing is framed out for a door. I did it all to the right measurements because we're gonna put a certain size door there, so you have to make sure you make your hole a certain size as well. But bam, that is done. You can probably hear the guy's still working over here and not making much progress. Turns out that porch is way thicker and harder than we thought. And the guy who made it put a ton of steel in it, a rebar, which means it's gonna take forever. Like he's been working for a while, he's knocked 1 corner off of it. Gonna be a bit. Okay, so one guy has the Bobcat and is trying to bang all that concrete loose. The other guy has the saw and is trying to cut the rebar loose. And there's way more rebar and way bigger beams in that thing than we thought there were. So they're just chipping away at the corners. It's gonna take a long time to get it where we need it to be. So long. God. Earl, you're looking great though, buddy. Muscular, you've been working out? You look tough. Yeah, you're real ripped. Cut. Real strong. I can feel it vibrating my feet. Like they're hitting the porch and it goes all the way through the house and is vibrating the ground over here. All right, we're gonna give them a little more time to see how this goes. We may end up giving up and having to get a bigger machine out here to do it, but we're trying with this one. We'll be back in a second. It's been 1 second. Not really, it's been like all day. You ready to see how much progress we made? It's not a lot. We went ahead, knocked that corner off, started chipping there, but we actually did make some good progress here. So this is a great example of why we couldn't just chop it right here, because as you can see, it's all hollow underneath this. This is just dirt right there. But look how thick this freaking concrete is. It's a foot thick and has all this, it looks like number 3 rebar to me, 3/8 inch, I think 3/8 inch rebar, all on the whole top, a foot thick on a porch. This is not supposed to bear any weight, it's a porch. And then here, look at these things. So I think this is, I think that's a 5/8, but these things are huge. Crazy. So it's got 2 of these really big ones. It's got a 5/8, and then we haven't even got like all the way down through that beam to see what's at the bottom, but jeez, like crazy. This house is never gonna wash away, that's for sure. I don't think we want to spend 5 days just chiseling with that thing. We might end up having to get something bigger out here, like a backhoe with a bigger jackhammer on it, because that thing is just big, really big, and really, really well reinforced. Great job. Great job, Mr. Concrete Guy, put this in. You did not want anyone to be able to tear up your porch. Mission accomplished. Oh, good. Firm. It actually is so shiny that it looks like it was still wet. It's not. It's dry. It's been getting lots of good sun and dry wind in Texas today. So I think we have a locked in the ground bunker now, which is perfect. Now, Demolition, we need to talk about the backyard because it is time for us to start planning and figuring out what exactly we're gonna do back here. I wanna make this backyard space as epic as possible. I brought all this dirt in because it was just really far down. We are gonna bring all this dirt up against the house so that there's not a 9-foot fall down to my death right there. I wanna be able to just walk right off. So we are going to start designing this backyard, figuring out where to put all the dirt so we know like where the pool goes. And I'm sure you guys are like, yeah, Matt, you definitely need a pool. I agree. You're probably like, Matt, you need a hot tub. I agree. You're like, Matt, don't you think you need a fire pit? Obviously. What else though? What am I forgetting to make this backyard crazy awesome? This is the place that Meredith and I want to raise our kids for as long as they'll stay with us. And I want it to be fun for them. I want it to be fun for me and Meredith. I want us to have just the best backyard. We're doing it all ourselves. We can do whatever we want. We have all the space to do whatever we want. What should we do, Demolition? Help me out. And if you would like to see more of the Abandoned Mansion videos or check out all the stuff we do, make sure to subscribe to this channel because we do a lot of interesting, not really connected, totally weird things. But I have a lot of fun doing them, and I would love it if you came back for more. Thank you guys so much for watching Renovation Ranch on the Abandoned Mansion. My name is Matt. I love you, and I'll see you next time.